everybody. Welcome back to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. We're live on 99.5 ESPN Radio, Emporia's home for sports. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. You can always call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. He is live in the studio. His name is Don Weast. He is the Sports Information Director at Emporia State. Don, I want to tell you, first of all, I appreciate you hanging out for more than one segment, man.
Hey, no problem. I mean, it's summertime now. What am I going to do? I just got to be done by 5. I'm going to be able to go pick up the kids from the last day of school. So.
Understood. We'll make sure and get that set up. The good thing about Emporia is nothing here takes longer than about 7 or 8 minutes to get to.
That's true.
See, where I'm from in Wichita, I always love it. Like, no offense to anybody listening, but I always love when people say, I've got to go all the way to the other side of town. I'm like, that's 8 minutes. In Wichita, all the way on the other side of town means a half-hour drive, man.
A little bit different.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Don, obviously the primary reason why I brought you in studio today was the auction, and I was looking at some of the things that you guys have going on. Number one, being from Wichita, as I just made mention of, Ron Baker is going to be there in attendance as well, if I remember correctly. I think that's going to be awesome.
Ron's little brother Sloan Baker's on the baseball team. So
right.
It's kind of working. And he's friends with some guys here from Emporia that played football here and whatnot. So, but yeah, he was here last year for it. He was gracious enough to donate a jersey, a signed jersey, so he should be here for that. And what we need to do is not for him to do that. We need him to open up those NBA pockets, though, and start bidding on some stuff is what we need. So
that New York Knicks money, man, that's what we need.
There you go.
Nobody who plays for the Knicks is broke.
That's true. That's true.
They may not be winning games, but pockets ain't empty, as they say.
That's true.
Some of the other things that we were talking about, too, was the Chiefs package.
Yeah, we got
that's out there.
Got a great package from Dr. Tim Harris. He's put that up for us. 4 tickets to any Chiefs game this year you want to go to. He'll do all the tailgate cooking, parking pass, everything in place for that. So, great opportunity to go. Doesn't matter if you want to go early when it's beautiful out, want to go late to one of those Bronco games when you can watch them beat up the Broncos.
Oh, really? You think that's how it's going to go?
I got to throw that on you.
You saw my nice Broncos flag I have in there, right? Yeah.
I did, but that's what, you can do anywhere you want to. He'll take care of that. So 4 tickets. You need a bet on that. I'm sure that even if you wanted to go, you want to wear your Broncos stuff, he might even let you do that.
Oh, really?
If you're willing to pay. We'll take the money.
I'm sure you will. You know how many Broncos hoodies I got hanging up in my closet right now?
I'm sure there's a few.
Oh, there's I got my beanies out there. How many Super Bowls have we won since you guys have won 2 playoff games again? Yeah.
So the next thing we can do, we've also got some great golf packages in place. We can go play golf about anywhere in the country. So
if you saw the look that he's giving me right now, he's joking, but he's also got this look like, bro, don't test me. And speaking of which, honestly, the KU basketball that is autographed, I think that's super awesome.
Got a couple of KU basketballs in place. One autographed by the 2018 team that won their 14 straight conference championships by the entire team. That'll be on there. Then we have one that's been autographed by Brandon Schneider and Jory Collins, who are the women's coaches at KU. Both obviously former Lady Hornet coaches, took Lady Hornets to the Final Four. They're there. Another KU package that we have there is you can go with Coach Doty when we play KU in the exhibition opener next year. So you want to be a part of that. Ride with the team, sit on the bench at Allen Fieldhouse, and see if we can pull a little Doty magic in Allen Fieldhouse. And
speaking of Doty, rumor has it that you guys have a Magic Johnson signed picture, right? It's in a nice frame.
It should be a jersey in a frame.
A frame.
Yes.
How did you pull that again?
That's Coach Doty having some connections. I was just in the office this morning. One of the things that he does, he has a huge summer camp operation. Goes around the country, does things. So one of his camps last year was down in Florida. So he was able to go to a Heat game, and he got some great tickets. In fact, he was showing me on his phone that he was kind of panning around, and like 2 seats over was Alonzo Mourning and Pat Riley. So he's got some connections. He does some things. He talks to some people, and he's not afraid to ask for something either. So he's got that. He's got a Larry Bird signed jersey in his office. He's got very rare. He's got a Michael Jordan one who understands that you don't sign everything. So he's got something there that's nice. He's not going to put that up for auction. He's keeping that one for himself.
Doty, if you're listening, bro, whatever we could do to get MJ or Magic on the program, I'm just going to throw that out there to you, bro. But Great A move, man. Appreciate it in advance. Some of the other things that you guys have for this auction, what else do you have on the menu?
Well, we've got a whole lot of things. And one, let's just, first off, let's get on. It's going to be Thursday night. Social hour starts at 6. We'll get everything started about 7:30 in the auditorium downtown. But we've got all sorts of things. We've got Evora Wheeler pies, which people in Emporia love. It's amazing to me that we'll bid $500 for a pie. It's an amazing thing to eat.
Wow.
But then we've also got a lot of golf trips that we've got. We've got trips to the Oklahoma City Thunder. You can go with Coach Wynn down to a Thunder game. A lot of experiences like that. We have a vacation stay in Puerto Vallarta that's up for sale. So
man.
A lot of good things there. But these are things we need to have, and they got to be big ticket items. And we need some help on that because as we say, we're 13th out of 14 teams in the MIAA when it comes to operating budget, and the way that we get our operating budget up is things like this, things with our auctions, and just people being able to donate. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't survive.
How does the golf correlate with what you guys do for the auction? Does that help bring in money as well?
Yeah, we'll have that too. Now the golf tournament is actually we've oversold the golf tournament.
We were supposed
to
good
cap
news,
that.
though.
It's great news in a lot of ways. I'm sure Marcus out at the golf course a little worried because we're going to put 35 teams out there instead of 32. But we get the proceeds from that too, and it's $125 a person to get that. And you get your cart, you get a meal, you get a polo shirt, you get a sleeve of golf balls, stuff like that. And there's all sorts of whole prizes out there, and it's great. And there's going to be some competition out there too. I know Coach Wynn's bringing in a little bit of a ringer here. Former PGA guy is actually going to play on his team, so that's a guy that shows Coach Wynn's both a recruiter and he's a competitor. He doesn't even want to lose in the fundraising golf tournament. So.
Oh man, is it kind of like what's that Caddyshack? He just never wanted to lose. He didn't care what it was.
Going to win every time, I'm telling you. So.
Oh, man. In terms of spending, and I just want to put this in perspective for people because I've talked about this before on the program. If you build it, they will come. One of the things that I've talked about is Alabama, the university, of course, having that huge hot tub right there in their facility. And for you guys, obviously, that's not within your capability, but you do what you can. You have to spend money to be able to make money. The facilities that you guys, made, obviously the new football stadium, which brought in the 6A state championship game. That's another way for you guys to, get a piece of this pie. Explain, if you can, exactly what this means to you all to keep this money floating so that way we can keep the university in the direction that it's been going.
Well, the main thing that we do is it's scholarship money. I mean, we have all those great facility improvements, redid the locker room, put in the turf, put in the golden oval track, all that stuff. We can get people that want to do that kind of on a per event basis. They want to be able to say that this was there and they want to donate to that. The thing that we need scholarship dollars. Right now, we don't operate at full capacity. I think the only sports that we have that we're able to operate at are men's and women's basketball and football. Those are the only ones that hit the NCAA maximum. The other sports, they're all underneath. Coach Fernelli, I think the NCAA allowable limit for baseball is, I want to say 10, and we had 3.5 scholarships.
Oh, wow.
And he went to the regional tournament for the 5th straight year. Now, and you need that, and especially as, costs go up. I mean, there's just a tuition raise increase, this year for Emporia State, which you have to do to be able as a university to operate. That gets back onto us. I mean, if the cost of going to school goes up, the cost that we have to pay to get the kids in school goes up as well. And, that's what it ultimately comes down to. A lot of kids will talk about, maybe it's one of the 107 different football combination uniforms that we have, or maybe it's the turf and the honeycomb and the sweet nectar of the end zone that we have there. But, a lot of times it's going to come down to who's going to give me more money to compete. And right now, it's hard. We have to go out there, and we're building kids. And the good thing is, what it does, we don't have the ability to make a mistake. We can't make a mistake on a kid, and we can't have a kid get hurt. We get a kid hurt, we don't have the kid in back that can come in and take his place as readily. That's someone's going to be more of a program kid, a younger kid. We just don't have the depth in some of those sports that we'd like to.
Does that really ultimately speak to how good Rosales, Higgins, Fornelli, Doty, and everybody else truly is when you're talking about that blocker, obviously, as well?
I think in a lot of ways it is. A couple of years ago, there was a report that was done by an independent thing. This was a guy down in Florida that just went through and he took information available, from the U.S. Department of Education, where we have to turn in reports on how much we spend on every sport and everything. And then he looked at enrollment figures. He looked at success in your conference. He did it for every conference in the country. We were the most efficient athletic program in the MIAA, meaning that we got more wins per dollar than anybody else did.
Wow.
And it's just, and he looked across the country at that. I think at the time, and this has been about and this was over a 4-year period. And I think that our women's basketball team was the best in the country at it. So, there are things that we do that, and it does. It shows to how good our people are, how good the student athletes that we're able to recruit are. And really the university helps us on retaining a lot of those kids too. So,
well, and it brings kind of a new perspective to the term doing more with less.
It's a term that we use a lot that we hate using. I hate using that term. I want to do more with more is what I want to do.
Right.
But that is kind of what you have to do, and you don't want to do it with less, but it is what it is. And, you can't complain. We're not going to quit. We're not going to fold up our programs and say goodbye now because we can't compete. We think we can compete on anything. And, it's like Kent Weiser, our athletic director, says sometimes it's a lot more fun when you can go out there and you can beat that guy that's got the full scholarship limit.
That's right. Well, and then, the other thing, too, is when you win – and now I know that this happens at the Division I level. I'm not sure about Division II, but when you win, that money trickles down. And so not only does it help your university, but it also helps the conference as a whole build. Is that how it works in D2?
To a certain extent, not as much. I mean, the big TV dollars aren't there like there are in Division I.
Well, of course.
So we don't get that. But, what it really helps is just, it's more on the prestige side of things. There's some things you can get. We get when we make the NCAA tournament and something, we get a per diem. For each kid, and kind of like what we'll do sometimes is, maybe instead of putting 2 kids in a room, we would put 3 kids in a room, so we save some money on that, and do things like that, so you can make a little bit of money off the travel if you go there. But sometimes it depends on what the sport is. Softball, the travel party was big enough that we were going to have a couple rooms left over that we weren't going to have to use, so we could kind of pocket that money and help make sure we get something nice. Baseball, we take a few more kids than that, so that made it a little bit more difficult. But you just do what you can and get through. It's not like Division I. It's not like there's not the $100,000, the $2 million free throw that you have to make or anything like that.
Don, what is the thing that you think ultimately is the most exciting part about holding this auction? For me, when I look at it, I think to myself that the fact that you guys are able to keep the community so knit tight with this auction, the way everybody comes together, what's the thing that you see?
I think that's it too. I think it's seeing everybody come there together. It's we're trying to raise money, but we're also trying to raise some friends too, and we want people to come, and you get an opportunity to meet with the coaches away from their sport. We'll have student athletes there that you can kind of mingle in with and get to talk to and everything. I think that's a good thing. And then it's just exciting at the end when you sit there and you start to look at the numbers that you're raising and the money you're raising, and you're seeing this. Yeah, it's exciting. It's like getting a win at the end of the game, and you're just pumped for it and ready to go. And again, we just see everybody there and, enjoy that a lot.
Don, I want to tell you, it was really amazing being able to speak with you today. Obviously, you and I both have to be able to move on to the next thing for today. But before you go, as I do, I give an opportunity for all of my guests to say whatever it is that's on their mind. And I'm sure, of course, that you want to remind people when the auction is, what time, and all those good things. And then, of course, whatever else it is you'd like to say.
Exactly right there. With auction is Thursday night. Starts at 6 o'clock. It's $35 to get in. That gets you free hors d'oeuvres, heavy hors d'oeuvres, really good stuff. Some free drinks out of that too. Your bid number so you can bid on stuff. The great thing is you can go online, go to ESUHornets.com. You can log in, and you don't have to be at the auction to bid on something. If you still have to work, if you're going to be somewhere else in town that night and you want to be kind of following the auction along online, you can do that, and you can order stuff. Just appreciate everybody coming out to that, and love to have everyone out and really help us support so we can get ready to kick off 2018-19 on a good note. Don, I really appreciate you stopping by today. No problem. I appreciate being on here. I'll do it whenever you ask me to. Well, tomorrow. This is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. You can always call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.